Apple just killed off two devices I really loved. One is the MagSafe Duo that actually debuted with the iPhone 12 that allowed you to charge your iPhone and your Apple Watch, but it has a Lightning port. And the other device was the overly expensive, but honestly one of the best MagSafe battery packs you could get. And if you try to search for MagSafe Duo or the battery pack, it'll have some of the links here on the Google search page, but going to the Apple Store, but you'll find they are both totally gone. So where did they go? Well, the entire iPhone 15 lineup at the Wonderlust event that happened earlier this week, everything is transitioning to USB-C. Well, at least the phones for now and maybe some AirPods, but we'll get to that in a second. USB-C is a more universal connector. It's going to allow for faster data transfer speeds on the iPhone 15 Pro models, and then you can charge multiple Apple devices like your iPad Pro or iPad Air, your MacBook, all with one USB-C cable. So I was expecting lots of these accessories, which had a Lightning port, to get updated as well. We didn't hear about either of these in the event, the MagSafe Duo or the Apple MagSafe battery, but I thought maybe they'll just get updated on Apple's website or maybe in a press release. But no, it looks like they are completely gone. So why did Apple kill these off rather than just giving them a USB-C port? Well, the first thing we need to talk about is Qi2. Qi2 is a new wireless charging standard that will come on the iPhone 15 and 15 Pro. Qi2 is going to allow for 15-watt MagSafe charging, which is what the original MagSafe chargers were for. If you used a Qi1 or just any old wireless charging pack, or you got a battery pack like this one from Anker back when the iPhone 12 came out, it was not technically MagSafe, so it would charge at a slower 5-watt speed, like glacially slow. So Apple created MagSafe so you could have that 15-watt charging wirelessly. Now, companies could apply to have a MagSafe charger built into their products. This is where we get the Belkin 3-in-1 tree stand, which is what I use. It's one of my favorite charging devices. And you can get 15-watt charging on your iPhone with that MagSafe puck. But for third-party manufacturers, it could take a long time to get their hands on one of those pucks, and they would have to make their device more expensive to accommodate that MagSafe MFI piece. Well, now with Qi2, it'll be a more universal standard, and we already have companies announcing Qi2 charging devices. Anker and Mophie have announced entire lineups of Qi2 charging, including MagSafe battery packs and chargers. So once all these Qi2 devices are out and we have the iPhone 15 in hand, MagSafe itself as a 15-watt charging standard won't be as necessary. You'll be able to get 15-watt charging from any Qi2 certified charger. But there's the first catch. Qi2 is actually not certified yet on the iPhone. Maybe that's why Apple didn't announce the MagSafe battery pack or some MagSafe Duo replacement, because they can't officially say it's Qi2 yet because the iPhone's not certified. Maybe that will come soon. But as it stands right now, Apple took both of these devices, the MagSafe battery and MagSafe Duo, completely off the website. Now, what about USB-C? Wasn't this supposed to solve all our problems and everything just transitions? Well, Apple did say during their keynote that you can now charge all your Apple devices with a USB-C cable like your MacBook and iPad, but there's actually still a lot of devices that still have a Lightning connector even after the iPhone 15 launches. The Mac peripherals like Magic Keyboards and Magic Mice, those still have the Lightning charging port, and yes, you still have to put your mouse upside down like a turtle in order to charge it. Apple's $550 AirPods Max headphones still have a Lightning port, not USB-C. And strangely enough, Apple updated the AirPods Pro 2 to now come with a USB-C case. So if you buy a pair of AirPods Pro 2 right now, you'll get USB-C on the case, but you can't just buy a case with USB-C separately. Apple offered this when they had wireless charging first come to the AirPods, so it seems strange they didn't offer it now. Also, the AirPods 3rd generation, which is still being sold brand new, either come with a Lightning charging case or MagSafe. No USB-C there either. So it seems like we're in a weird place right now with this transition from Lightning to USB-C. We'll have the phones on USB-C later this month, but things like the AirPods 3, AirPods Max, Mac peripherals, and some other accessories are still on Lightning. Now, Mark Gurman from Bloomberg, who's a reliable Apple leaker, has said there is likely going to be an October Apple event. I would imagine at this event, we'll see the Mac peripherals, maybe with the announcement of a new M3 iMac. Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse will probably get USB-C then. We might also see an updated version of AirPods Max, which AirPods Max came out over 3 years ago, and they don't have the H2 chip, which will allow for some of that adaptive noise conversation stuff in AirPods, so they need an update as well. So all those devices will likely move to USB-C by the end of this year, but that leaves these two, the MagSafe Duo and the Apple MagSafe battery pack. Are they going to update these to USB-C? Probably not. The reason why is, like I mentioned, Qi2 is coming soon, and it's going to be offering that 15-watt charging to third-party accessory makers, and Apple probably doesn't need to make their own battery pack anymore. But let's talk about the Apple MagSafe battery pack for a second. It was $100, which is overpriced. Many of the other MagSafe, or at least Qi battery packs, were much less, $50 or $60. But I also kind of love this thing. It was one of the thinnest battery packs, didn't offer as much juice, but honestly, it charged my phone just enough. And it was the only battery pack that would actually show up in the battery widget on your iPhone to show you the percentage. As it stands, no other MagSafe battery pack will show up in the battery widget on the iPhone. Now, Qi2 will allow MagSafe accessories to have a specific identifier that will then match with the iPhone. This way you can create different standby screens with your iPhone, and it will remember that standby screen depending on which charger you created it on. Speaking of standby mode, iOS 17 officially launches for everyone on Monday, September 18th, and I do have an entire video showing the top 5 features like name drop, standby mode, and a bunch of features in Apple Podcast. You can check out that video above or the link in the description. But will Qi2 allow MagSafe battery pack percentages to show up in the widget? I don't think so. Also, the MagSafe battery pack was one of the few batteries that did not get hot as it charged the iPhone. I actually did an entire video on my top 4 battery packs for the iPhone 12. It's actually my most viewed video on the channel ever. People love the idea of MagSafe batteries. And yes, while this was one of the most expensive, it was the only one that didn't get hot. And we all know that heat hurts batteries, especially battery health, so I would prefer that it doesn't get hot. Hopefully Qi2 solves this, maybe you can regulate some of that charging speed, but they're not out yet, so we can't say for sure. All that being said, you can continue to use the Apple MagSafe battery pack with even the iPhone 15, but it has that lightning port, and honestly, I'm not going to bring a lightning cable just to charge this as I travel. You can check out my video comparing the top 4 battery packs. The Anchor one is still one of the best, and once the Qi2 battery packs have all launched, I'll do a video review right here on the channel, so, subscribe, hit like, all that. And lastly, what about the MagSafe Duo? Now, this wasn't the most robust MagSafe charger. It only did 2 devices, although it could still charge your AirPods. The Apple Watch puck wasn't big enough to accommodate the Apple Watch Ultra. You kind of had to bend it back a little bit. But what I loved about the Duo was that it was so thin and so light. It was $130, which, again, a little expensive. But throwing 2 of these in a bag when I travel with my family for me and my spouse, it was just so convenient and again, so light. Could they have fit a USB-C port on here? I'm not sure. This is a very thin device. But right now, all the alternatives out there are not this thin and light. I will say my new favorite for travel is this Anchor 3-in-1 Cube. This is a fast charging Apple Watch puck. You can charge your phone here and your AirPods can charge here on the back. Charge 3 devices and powered by USB-C. And if you search for MagSafe Duo charger on the Apple Store right now, you get a bunch of options that are not the Duo. There is the Mophie 3-in-1 travel charger, which is still somewhat thin and light. It is $150, but it's basically an updated version of the MagSafe Duo. Again, once Qi2 accessories arrive, we'll probably have a bunch of options for chargers and batteries, but right now in this weird interim period, I'm going to mourn these 2 devices, the MagSafe Duo and the Apple MagSafe battery pack. But I will say, I am excited for USB-C on the iPhone. I'm getting an iPhone 15 Pro Max in that blue titanium. You'll be able to record video directly to external drives from the iPhone because that port now has USB 3.0 speed, so excited for that. And I am looking forward to an October Apple event. I think there are some loose ends, especially in the AirPods lineup and some of the Mac lineup. The M1 iMac has been around for multiple years without an update, and so I think we're going to see that coming soon. So subscribe to the channel. Any news or updates and reviews I'm going to cover right here, and leave a comment below. What's your favorite MagSafe battery pack? Did you find one that you like better than Apple's that doesn't get hot? That's a key thing. Tell me if it doesn't get hot down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Again, thanks for watching, and before you go, you should check out one of these videos right here. They're pretty good.